Now, tomorrow marks the 20th anniversary of the first civilians killed in the Siege of Sarajevo when 2 women were shot dead by Bosnian-Serb snipers. The assault by Bosnian-Serb forces on the capital would go on to last 3.5 years and result in 10,000 civilians being killed, around 1,500 of them children. In this special report, our Europe correspondent Paul Cunningham has returned to Sarajevo, scene of the longest siege of any capital in the history of modern warfare.
A collective enterprise to instill fear. The UN's verdict on the Bosnian-Serb siege of Sarajevo. For 3 years, men, women and children were targeted by bullets, mortar and artillery shells. While peacekeepers were on the streets, they never stopped the snipers in the hills. There are no more snipers firing down into Sarajevo anymore. However, this is a conflict which has gone into cold storage, rather than one that's been resolved. Look around Sarajevo today and it's clear the city has progressed. The scars of war have mostly been erased. Even the much targeted Holiday Inn looks normal. The siege has been incorporated into the tourist trail. You can now visit an 800-metre tunnel constructed by government soldiers by hand so the injured could get out and the guns could get in.
At that time, United Nations brought food, only, and they were not here to protect us too. And if we couldn't bring weapons, we would die, doesn't matter how much food we get.
But common things like visiting the Sarajevo fruit and vegetable market isn't easy for some. MUAMER was buying groceries at the market on one of the occasions it was shelled. He was 7 years old.
We just heard the grenade fell. I was like 3 or 4 tables from there with my mother, with my sister. A lot of victims, a lot of casualties, a lot of bad wounds, a lot of pictures in my head, so very ugly.
Some of Sarajevo's current residents vividly remember what it was like to escape Bosnia during the war and arrive into places like Dublin.
It was like coming to another planet, really, People laughing, doing normal things, having a water, having food, drinking, It was amazing.
The International Tribunal in The Hague is prosecuting Bosnian Serb leaders like Radovan Karadzic and military commanders like Ratko Mladic over the siege. Yet in eastern Sarajevo, you wonder if the division of Bosnia is actually becoming a reality. This near state within a state, with its Cyrillic signs, is part of the peace agreement. The Serb member of Bosnia's rotating presidency says people have to accept it. Nebojša Radmanović told me Republika Srpska will not give up its autonomy, but will fight for even more. The pre-war big employers have not returned. Unemployment is high. Politically, things have stagnated. The international community is perceived to have disengaged, and it's argued the prize of future EU membership is not enough to get Bosnia-Herzegovina out of the rut.
The EU is setting itself up to fail here. And the other members of the international community seem to be stepping back.
On the edge of Sarajevo, you find the many graves of those who were killed in the siege. The war may be long over, but Sarajevo certainly hasn't recovered. Paul Cunningham, RTÉ News, Sarajevo.